All right, so it looks like you're getting ready for a new PC build.
Always exciting.
It is, and you send over a ton of info about PC cases.
Yeah.
Picking the right case can be tough, though, right?
Yeah.
So many choices. But that's what we're here for.
That's right. This deep dive should help sort through it all.
Okay, so let's jump right in. First up, this Fractal Design North case. This one really caught my eye. Wooden panels. Mid-century modern.
Yeah.
It's like furniture, not a PC case.
Exactly. You don't see that every day.
I know. You'd never guess it was a PC just looking at it.
It shows how case makers are thinking differently now, blending how it looks with how it works.
Right. Like, picture this case in your living room. It totally fits in.
It does. Wouldn't look out of place at all.
But it's not just about looks. This case doesn't mess around when it comes to performance either. 240mm fans, and you can add 2 more on the side.
Oh, nice.
It even has this adjustable side fan bracket, so you can target specific components for cooling, to keep things extra cool.
Yeah, not something you see at this price usually. They managed to get those high-end cooling features and still kept the unique look.
Pretty impressive. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the Lian Li Lancool 207. Now, if you want the most performance for your money, this seems like a real winner.
Especially at only $80.
$80. That's a steal.
For that price, you get some killer cooling, particularly for your graphics card.
Oh, yeah.
It's got these bottom intake fans that are angled to directly hit the GPU, direct airflow right to where you need it.
So why is that so crucial? I mean, is it really that big of a deal?
It is. Keeping that graphics card cool is super important for smooth gaming. Prevents what's called thermal throttling.
Thermal throttling.
Yeah, where your GPU slows down to avoid overheating. This design, the direct airflow, makes a huge difference in performance.
That's a great point. The Lancool 207 seems to have fantastic airflow overall. I mean, look at all that mesh on the front.
Yeah, tons of airflow.
And I'm surprised by the cable management, especially for a budget case.
I know, right? They did a good job with that. Good cable management makes it look nicer, and it helps the airflow inside.
So everything stays cool.
Exactly. But there's one thing to keep in mind with the Lancool 207. The power supply is mounted sideways.
Okay, so what does that mean for the build?
Well, it saves space, which is great, but it limits you to smaller power supplies.
Oh, I see.
Under 160 millimeters.
Gotcha. So you can't cram in a massive power supply into this one.
You can't. Might need a different case if that's what you've got.
Good to know. All right, now for something completely different. The Corsair Obsidian series, 4000X RGB. This one is all about the RGB.
RGB lovers rejoice.
Haha, yes. 320mm RGB fans that are going to put on a show for sure. And those dual glass panels. You can see all those beautiful components lit up.
That's the idea. Show off your build.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the looks, right? Corsair is known for making things easy to use.
Absolutely. They nailed it with this one. Great for beginners.
So how do you control all those RGB lights?
It's all through their ICUE software. You can customize the lighting super easily. But what's really impressive is that they didn't sacrifice how it works for how it looks. The 4000X RGB is really well designed inside for cable management, making those cables neat and tidy.
Yeah, that can be a nightmare if you're not careful.
Right. They even have Velcro straps, clearly labeled channels, everything to make it easy, even if it's your first build.
Very thoughtful.
And they use tinted glass to hide the less attractive cables.
Smart. So you get that clean look without having to be a cable management pro.
Exactly. And you know what? They also offer a mesh variant, the 4000D Airflow.
Oh, cool. What's the difference?
If you're more about cooling performance than the RGB, that's the one to go for.
Options are always good. Speaking of performance, let's talk about the Be Quiet Shadow Base 800FX. This case is in a different league.
It is. It's aimed at the enthusiast crowd. The people who want the best cooling and a silent PC.
Silence is golden, especially when you're working late at night.
Tell me about it. It comes with 4 pre-installed 140mm Lightwings RGB fans. That's serious airflow.
Wow, 4 fans. That's a lot.
And they added sound dampening foam, too. It's almost spooky how quiet this case is, even when it's working hard.
I can imagine. So peace and quiet while gaming. That's a win.
Big win. And get this, it has a rotatable PCIe bracket. So you can mount your graphics card vertically if you want.
Oh, that's cool.
It's the little things, right? But of course, all this comes at a price. The Shadow Base 800FX is about $220.
That's a bit of an investment, but for someone who wants the absolute best, it might be worth it.
Definitely. And they do have a non-RGB version, the Shadow Base 800.
So you can save a few bucks if you're not into the light show.
Exactly. Now, for something truly different, let's look at the Cooler Master NR200P Max. This thing is tiny.
It is, but it's still powerful, right?
Oh, yeah. This is an ITX case, meaning it uses a smaller motherboard.
Right, right.
But don't let the size fool you. It can handle some serious hardware.
That's impressive. They really managed to pack it all in there.
They did. And here's the kicker. It comes with a pre-installed 850W power supply and a 280mm liquid cooler.
Whoa, wait. So it basically comes ready to go.
Pretty much. Add your CPU, RAM, GPU, and motherboard, and you're set.
That's amazing. It's like a high-performance PC in a tiny package.
It is. And it has both glass and mesh side panels, so you can pick your style and airflow.
So much flexibility in such a small case.
The NR200P Max is a great example of how PC building is becoming more accessible. But all this convenience and performance does come at a price.
Yeah, what's the damage?
It's around $349.
That's a chunk of change.
It is, but you're basically getting a high-quality power supply and liquid cooler included, so it's more like buying a pre-built system.
Makes sense. You're paying for the convenience and the quality.
Exactly. You get the satisfaction of picking your parts and putting it all together.
I love that. Okay, we've covered a lot already. 5 very different PC cases, each with its own strengths.
It's amazing how much variety there is these days.
All right, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
It has been a journey.
It has. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, happy building.